welcome to my channel. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today is another Stashbusting Saturday. And today I'm going to try and make use of all of the things that I've printed off that were in duplication of everything else I had, because I was being a little bit overzealous and not really thinking about what it was I wanted to achieve. So I've ended up with lots of prints that I need now to do things with. So today's exercise is going to be around making the journal cards for the Georgian Romance Journal. But first of all, I'd like to turn this one into a little journal card. This actually comes with the digital kit, which is from Scrimpy Mummy's collection. If you haven't already been along to her channel, please do. I am part of the Scrimpy Mummy design team, and she does lots of beautiful digital kits. God, I nearly said that right then, digital kits. And if you pop along to her Facebook channel or her Ko-fi channel, I'll put the links in the description for you so that you've got them all. She does literally loads and loads of different things. She does tutorials for everything she does, and her work is absolutely outstanding. And I'm sure you won't be disappointed if you haven't already seen her work. So I'm going to turn this into a little journal card, but rather than just have it is printed on 200 GSM cardstock, but rather than just have the plain white on the back, I just thought I'd do a little bit of embellishing, and I say embellishing, a little bit of stamping. And I've pulled out 3 stamps that I'd like to overlay. So I've got this one, which is a very pretty swirly one, which I think is quite feminine. I've got this one, which is writing, which you can't really work out what it says, but I thought that would be quite nice on there as well. And then I've got a little splatter design, which I thought might work quite well. And because this is on the blue card, I have chosen to use the blue stamping ink. So not sure how this is going to go, but with stamping, you can't really do an awful lot wrong, to be fair. I only want just very lightly on here. I don't want masses amounts, but I just want to take the whiteness away. So I'm just literally, as you can see, just putting a little bit of definition on there to give it something. Maybe want that a little bit darker, actually. I'm just going to see if I can get over that with a little bit more. Okay. So I hope you're all okay. I hope the weather's not being too much of an encumbrance for you all, and that you're still managing to get out and about and do the things that you need to be doing. It's absolutely freezing out there. I'm shaking the camera, sorry. I no longer have to go out during the day unless I really want to. So for me, I'm sitting here and I'm in a really good position, which is lovely. I can just sit here and do what I enjoy doing and not have to worry about anything, which is lovely. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you all on board. And if you have already subscribed and you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for coming back. Right, I think that's all I want to do on that. So it's just given it a little bit of decoration. It's taken away the plainness, and now I can just tuck that into my journal. So let me find a little space for that. And we will see what that looks like. So here's my journal, and I have found a little page for it already. Not sure if I'm going to be using this paper clip or if I might swap it out with a different one, but whichever one I use, it'll be fine. And I'm just going to slide that under there, and now that's a little, I'm just wondering actually if I can, that's better, isn't it? Okay, so that's a little journaling space there, which has made use of those pages. You could actually journal on here as well. And I haven't finished embellishing yet. Well, I haven't really started embellishing, to be fair, but there will be other embellishments and things going on as well. But the pages are beautiful. With these kits of Amanda's, you really don't have to do an awful lot, to be fair, if you don't want to, which is the beauty of them. You can do as much or as little as you want to. Right, so I've made use of those. I'm just going to pop those to one side out of the way. Now I've pulled these out as well because I want, and I thought I was prepared, and actually I'm not, because I want some tea-dyed paper. I'm not quite sure what drawer I've got it in, because I've been doing a little bit of tidying up, which you'll see the video for shortly. And with the tidying up, I've moved things around and I'm not too sure where anything is at the moment. So just got this. This is actually avocado. Is it avocado? I think this one is. This one is avocado dyed paper, and I did this myself. And if you haven't done paper dyeing yourself, with the avocados, you literally just peel your avocados as you normally would. You put them in water and boil them up for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want, until you're happy with the depth of colour in the water, basically. And then you just spray it over the page or soak your pages in them. And I just laid a stencil over the top while it was drying, and it gave me that pattern there. Very simple to do, actually. So I'm going to use this as 2 journal cards. So I'm going to make a journal card out of her, and I'm going to make a journal card out of him. And I must show you this. Look, I've got my little candle as well, just to give me a little calming in my craft room now that I can afford to be a little calmer, which is lovely. And I'm just wondering actually how wide I want my journal cards to be. I think probably 4 to 4.5 inches would be nice, by about 6. But it really depends on the design, really. So that's about 6. So I'm going to get my trimmer out and just trim these down a little bit. And I want that to be about 6. So I'm going to go in about there. That's that one. Okay, which will give me that width of journaling card. Is that too wide, do you think? It's way too wide. What am I thinking of? That needs to go down by at least another inch. There we go. Let's have a look at that. That's better. 5 inches, so much better. Okay. I think it was 6 inches tall that I wanted, wasn't it? So I shall now go 6 inches tall. I think I'll take it that way round. So 6 inches tall will give me that. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? That would make a nice tag. I'm going to pop that in there and use that for a tag. That's lovely, isn't it? Okay, and how does that fit on the page? That fits very nicely on the page. So I'm going to use that for her. I'm not sure I like the width of that, actually. I might just take that down to 4.5, maybe. I wonder what that would look like at 4.5. Let me have a look. So there, that would be 4.5 there. Yeah. I think I actually prefer it at 4.5. I'm just going to take another little bit off of that. That's better, isn't it? That's a much nicer shape, I think, for a journal card. Happier with that. And then this one, I think I will do the same. So I'm going to go 4.5, which will take him down Oh, cut it the right way, silly. 4.5 will take him down to there, which is quite nice because that still gives me the carriage in there, which is what I wanted. And then 6 inches tall. I just want to be careful how I cut this because I don't want to lose, yeah, I'm going to lose too much of the carriage that way. So I'm going to take a little bit off the top first. Let's see, if I take 1/2 inch off the top first, and then take that down to 6. How does that look? I'm still losing a little bit of the wheel there. I could probably afford to take just a little bit more off. I don't want to get it too close to the top of his head though. Let's have a look at that. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Okay, I was just looking at the, I don't know why, but I always get this optical illusion that things aren't straight. They always look like they're off on a skew. And then, perfect. I've just got the wheel in there now, which is what I wanted. So that will be another journal card. So I'm going to stick these down to the paper. I'm going to turn it over that way. And now stick those down on there. Lovely. Let me get some glue paper. Oops. Crash bang one up. I don't want that one. I want this one. Okay. Now we're going to glue these down. Just got a little bit of Yoo-hoo stick here. But you can use whatever takes your fancy. Oh, this is really gloopy, isn't it? Gloopy. Let's see if I can spread that about a bit. These are going to need to be put under weight until the... Oh gosh, look at that. That's horrible. Yeah, these are going to need to be put under a little bit of weight while they dry because the Yoo-hoo is quite a moist glue, and it does make the page curl quite a bit. But what I'll do is I'll get them stuck down and trimmed off first. I'll even stick them to my hand. Ugh, that is really gloopy. Let me just wipe that off and fold that over so that we don't do that again. Yuck. There we go. And now bring that in. Where's that? That design is there. I'm going to pop that on as close to that edge as we can. Nice. That's that one down. And now we're going to do the same with this one. Oh, this glue is horrid today. What is going on with it? I know the heating's been on, but we haven't had it that high that it would melt all the glue. It's horrible. Loopy loopy. Oh, I think I might get another one actually. This one's not great at all. Right, Anna. Oh my goodness me, that's horrible. Right, and I'm going to pop that one on there. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that because that's nasty. I'm just going to find myself another glue stick because that isn't nice to work with at the moment. Oh, bear with me, I just need to grab another glue stick. There we go. And luckily I knew where they were because I didn't change the hidey hole for them. Right then. And what I have forgotten to do today is I forgot to put my new mic on. I bought a mic to try and help with the sound quality. And I've forgotten to put it on today because I'm not used to wearing it. So while I was walking over to the other side of my room, I could have put that on. But hey ho. There we are. Lovely. Right then, I'm going to cut those up now. And again, these won't just be as they are. I will be embellishing them as well. You see, that could be used as a tag, and so could this bit that I'm cutting off here. So I shall use those up probably in No Waste Wednesday, unless I can make use of them today, which I most certainly will try to do. Trim that one. Just need to trim that top piece off of there. Trim this one off. Oh, rats. Now that's the trouble. Can you see that there? The trimmer has just pulled that edge away, and that's the danger of not waiting for your glue to dry, folks. But we will just squash that back down, and once it's dry, you probably won't even notice it's there, but it's really annoying when it does that. And I'm just going to trim this edge here with scissors because there's too little an amount there to trim off with the trimmer. There we go. Lovely. Okay, and the top bit needs trimming there as well, I've just noticed. See, look, can you see that there? You see how that's rucked all that up there? I think what I will do is I will wait for this to dry, and I'm going to trim that down just the tiniest. In fact, I might just be able to do it with my craft knife as opposed to... Let me see if my craft knife will take that edge off, because that wasn't straight anyway, look. Oh, hang on, let me get that straight up to the line there. That's lovely. And now get that piece on there. A bit on there. Right, let's see if I can take this off with the craft knife a bit cleaner. And not by the look of it, no. Oh, I've just wrecked that completely, look. Oh, you really should wait, Dawn. Right, plan B, it's not a big issue. I am going to put some lace down the edge of that rather than waste it completely. So I am going to cut that with a pair of scissors, because a pair of scissors, when things are wet, work far better. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to trim that top piece there. This is a masterclass in what not to do. So please wait when you're gluing things down. Wait until they are completely dry before trimming them, especially if you are trimming them with a blade of any description. Scissors usually aren't too bad, to be fair. Scissors usually give quite a decent cut, as you can see there, but blades do tend to drag and make a right mess of things. But like I say, it's not horrendous. I managed to save that quite well. I've just taken that in. And push comes to shove, I can put a little trim down the edge there, which I may well do. So I'm going to pop that under there and just leave that to dry for a moment. I am not trimming this at all right now because, again, same thing will happen. I'm going to cut that off at the top there, like so. And then I'm going to pop that under there and let that dry off a little bit as well before I do anything else with it. But they will need embellishing. I do want to embellish them a bit. Okay, so that's those ones done. Then I also pulled these ones out. I thought that there might make a nice journal card. Again, with some embellishment over it potentially. And then we've got these two here. We've got that design there and that design there. I love that one. How big is that? Let me have a look-see. Look-see-do. Right, so that would have to be quite a big journal card, really, to make that worthwhile. So that would be 7 inches. And that would need to be 5. So that is actually quite a large journal card, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to see if I can find any more either coffee dyed paper or what's the other stuff? Avocado dyed. Let's see what we've got in here. I've got that one, which is quite nice. That's not dyed though, that's just the colour of the paper. I've got that bit of coffee dye, which will do for a tag. And I have got that one, which I think will look nice as well. So I'm just going to use these two. And in actual fact, I do believe... Oh, maybe I didn't pull it out. I thought I had from the kit itself, if I can find it, one of the plainer pages that I could use as a background that I printed that I shouldn't have done. Yeah, there we go. So I've also got that there, which is an offcut, which I can use the back of that as well, which I will do. So I've probably got enough there, which is nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, so how are you all enjoying the cold weather? I don't mind it actually. I quite like a little bit of chill. It helps kill all the bugs for sure, which is always a bonus. Let me just take this off here. I want to trim that little white piece off. So we'll take that bit off there. And for those of you that are back at work, yeah, my sympathies lie with you if you don't like your job. But, and those of you that don't work, it's lovely to be able to be cuddled up at home, isn't it, in this cold weather, and just watch it from indoors. I love the snow though. I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love the snow. I think there's nothing nicer than being cuddled up indoors when it's snowed and it's all nice and white and crisp outside. When we had the snow here, I'm trying to think what day it was. I think it was Monday this week gone. And on the Monday, well, Monday was actually my final day at work, but I always take the dog out for a walk. Oops, sorry. I always take the dog out for a walk before I go to work. And yeah, it was really, it was about 6:30 in the morning, so it was very early, and it was really dark, but white and crispy and bright, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just lovely actually, just to be walking out there. And it was the type of snow that as you walk through it, it just crunched as you walked through it, not because it was icy, but because it was just laying, and it was very soft on the ground, and it was just beautiful, absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed the walk. Just going to take that little bit off there. Yeah, so that was my Monday anyway. Tuesday, what did I do on Tuesday? Oh, Tuesday I took my Christmas decorations down. When I don't know when you guys take your Christmas decorations down, but we all are. I say we. I always try to leave them up until 12th night. not hugely superstitious, to be fair, but I know that if you take them, oh, that's not going to work, is it? If you take them down before 12th night, it's supposedly unlucky. So we took ours down on, I say we, me, took ours down on the 6th of January, which was the day after I finished work. And yeah, so that's what I spent Tuesday doing. So I took the decorations down and gave the house a good clean up. And this isn't, sorry, I'm just looking at the size of this. It's going to be really big, isn't it? I wonder if I can get away with a 7-inch one. Let me, I'm just going to measure this up on the page. Just bear with me one moment. Oh, I don't really like it. Oh, no, the height is okay, but I don't like the fact that there's such a big difference in the widths there to the framework. So I'm just going to make that a little bit skinnier. How does that look now? That's better, isn't it? Yes, happy with that one. Okay, not sure I want to use this one. I might come back to that one. So that's... yeah, you see, that's not cut that straight. It's not my eyes all the time. So let me... where do I want to straighten that up? Let me take it off of that side. Let me line it up to that line there. That's not going to work, is it? Maybe line it up to there. How does that look? Is that too close? There we go. Ah, and it's ripped my corner, but I don't really mind about that because I'm going to be rounding those corners off anyway, so that's no great shakes. Okay, is that better? Drives me bonkers. I never understand why it does that. It's obviously me. It'll do. And then I also want to do this one as well. But this is going to be a big one as well, isn't it? So that's going to be... can't be more than 5.5 because of the width of the page. So I might just trim that just very slightly closer to her. Right, let's make sure this is blooming straight, shall we? Right, trim that closer to her. That's fine. And then if I take that to 5.5, what does that give me? I'm just going to make sure that's all lined up nicely. That's not too bad, is it? There we go. That's quite decent, isn't it? Quite decent width. Okay, and then, yeah, so, nope, take it that way, Dawn. Silly Billy. And then I don't, 6, where would that get me? 6.5. Take it to there. I might even take that one to a 7. Seven and a half. We're pushing it there. Let me have a look and see what that looks like. That's a big old card, isn't it? Just wondering if that might be too big, actually. Let me bring it back there. Pop that down. Bring that back. Right, let me find a tuck spot because that's going to have to go in a tuck. So I have glued in the pockets and things, and the tucks. I suppose that could go underneath one of the what do you call it? It's one of these paper clips, couldn't it? It could go under, for instance, it could go under there. Now that would work, wouldn't it? I can get away with it being that size. Yeah. So I'm okay with that size then. That size is okay. We can make that work. That's nice. Okay. I'll just get that out of the way. I'm going to glue these ones down now. And I think that'll fit nicely on there, won't it? So I'm going to glue that down on there. Take the right end of the glue stick off and then you can make it work. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? That's gluing much nicer. There we go. Jolly good. Just make sure it's glued really nicely. I'm going to turn that over. As you can see, this was a misprint, but makes no odds. This is why we like to use these things up. So that needs to go that way around. I just want to leave a little bit of a gap around the edge because of the white spacing around the edge of the paper. That's that one, and hopefully, yes, I've put it up the right way. Marvellous. We love it when we put it up the right way. There we go. Right then, what was I saying? I was saying about taking the dog for a walk, wasn't I, on Monday on the crisp snow. So yeah, so that's nice. I like to do that when it's just snowed. It's really lovely. And then this one can go on there. And then Tuesday I got as far as Tuesday, didn't I? Because I took the Christmas decorations down. Oh dear. This is awful really, because one day is just going to run into the next. I'm not going to know where the heck I am. Yeah, so Tuesday I took the Christmas decorations down and cleaned up. Give the house a good old clean through. And then on Wednesday I gave my craft room a bit of a shock and a bit of a tidy up. I am going to be doing a video on that. You'll be horrified at the start. I've always said I am the messiest crafter on this planet, and yeah, if you come and join me for that video, you'll see exactly what I mean. But I've had a good clean up in here. There is still stuff to do, so I'm not going to put the video out just yet. I'm going to wait until I've done it all, so that, well, I say most of it, so that it looks okay, and then I will share it with you, and you can see the difference, and there is a huge difference. You might look at it and think, wow, just because I can see the sides I can't really see much else different, but actually there is a huge difference. I want to get a semblance of order in the way I store things as well, because I've got paper and things in every single drawer and space at the moment, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. So it's like I've got coloured paper as an example, plain coloured paper in about 6 different drawers, and then I've got design paper in about 6 different drawers, and then I've got holographic paper in 6 different drawers. So I want to try and use each drawer for a specific type of paper. Right, now those are stuck on there, I'm going to pop them under there and let them dry off a little bit before I cut them off this time. Yeah, so the drawers all need to be sorted out as well as the actual workspaces themselves. Do I want to use... Oh, I want to use him because he's lovely. I kind of, if you've not had a look at this digital kit yet, I kind of get... Journals have to tell me a story, or when I'm doing projects, they have to tell me a story. And this particular story is of a gentleman who's been jilted a little bit, and she's gone off with her either her betrothed through the family, or she's just fallen in love with somebody else, and he's kind of been left by the wayside, which I think is a little bit sad, really. But yeah, so that's how I visualize him. He's kind of the lost lover, if you like. He's no longer required or needed, and he's feeling a bit pushed out of it, and he's got a little bit of a grumpy face too, which is sad, but never mind. Things happen, don't they? Right, let's cut him to the size I want him. In actual fact, I'm saying a journal card, you know what, he would make a nice tag actually, wouldn't he? I think I'm going to do a tag with him. So I'm going to do 3 inches on him. And again, I must learn to try and make sure these are lined up properly so that they don't end up being weird sizes. That's lovely, isn't it? Right, I'm going to trim just the tiniest little bit off the bottom there, because I can't have it as tall as that, so I need to trim some off. But I quite like that flower up there, actually. How much can I keep, do you reckon? Bearing in mind it's going to have to go into a pocket. Let me find a pocket. That hasn't, oh, here we go. Let me pop this in here, and it will give me an idea then as to how much I actually need to cut off. Oh, actually not that much really, do I? Okay. I thought I was going to have to cut a lot more than that off. So let's just try it with, let's say 1/2 inch. Let me just, maybe not quite that much, maybe 1/4 inch. Yeah, maybe 1/2 inch would be better. Okay, so I'm going to cut off 1/2 inch there. That's lovely. That's a lovely tag, isn't it? That really makes a lovely tag. I'm going to stick him down. Happy with him. I'm going to use this paper, I think, unless I can make use of something that I've already printed out. Actually, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Because you could just still journal on there. I'm going to use that instead. Being as though I printed all this stuff off, I might as well make use of it. Because I was very naughty. I changed my mind in what I was, in my thought process, which I often do. Yeah, and had to start all over again with my printing, and yeah, it was just such a waste really, but I do it all the time. Absolutely. I don't know if you guys do that as well. You know, you sort of print off 10 times more of things than you actually need, and then you change your mind and end up printing another 10 sets of everything, and it's, I don't know why I do it, it's really bizarre. And then I end up, and this is why I have my Stashbuster videos and my No Waste Wednesday, because I'm using up all the stuff that I've printed off that I shouldn't have printed off because I'm an idiot. Still, mustn't grumble, eh? It's all good fun. Now that I'm not sure which way this goes up, actually. I think it goes up that way, but I actually quite like it that way. So I don't suppose it really matters which way up it goes, does it? But he's going to stick on there. Just wondering if I want to put a bit of a border around it. No, I won't. I won't, because then that's making it taller again, isn't it? And we don't want to do that. We do not want to make it taller. That's not going to be big enough. No, we don't want it to be taller. Look how nice this glue's working. I wonder why that other one was so nasty. Does yours ever go like that? Let me know. I don't know why that was so gloopy. It was quite nasty, in my personal opinion. Right then, let's Oh, sticky. Ickety stickety doo. Let me just get that out of the way, because otherwise I am... Okay. I think we established it doesn't really matter what way around it goes. So, oh yeah, I can go right up to the edge because I've already trimmed it. There we go. That's him on there. And he's going to be a lovely tag. You like that? He's lovely. I love that picture. Very nice. So he's ready now, and I'm just going to see what else I can stick on there and use this side of it. What else have we got? You see, I quite like that, but I'm not sure. You could pretty much use that then as a double-sided, but then you've got that bit there. I could try and cut that off maybe. Don't know. I do not know. Got the pinks, don't want those. What else have we got that we can make use of? Got that. That would make a nice journal card, wouldn't it? Oh no, I know what I'm supposed to be doing with that. I've just reminded myself I don't want to be using that yet. We don't want to be using that yet. What have we got in this lot? Let's have a look and see what we've printed off in here that I can make use of. She'd make a nice tag as well, wouldn't she? Although she'd also make a nice... maybe not. Okay. I might do a tag out of her. Oh, I've already got that one, haven't I? Didn't I do that one? Yes, I did do that one. Okay, let's have a look and see what else we've got. Done him. Oh. Haven't done one with these two, have I? I have not. So I think I would like to use that as a tag, as a journal card. That would be very pretty, wouldn't it? So let's have a look and see where I can cut this one down then. So let's have a look. If I do 5-inch, 5-inch works very nicely. Okay. Yep. So 5-inch there, and that would make a nice journal card as well, actually, with some embellishment on. Okay. I'm just going to trim that off just along the bottom there, just slightly. There. Lovely. And then 6 inches takes it there. I think I might go to 7 actually. 7 takes it to there. That's nice. Yeah, happy with that one. Okay. Good. Alrighty, let's stick that on there. That one's already been stuck, hasn't it? Let me scooch that over a minute. Will it fit on there? Just. I know you're all looking and saying, oh gosh, she's printed on the back of that as well. What a waste. Yeah, you're absolutely right, but at least it's not going in the bin, which is the main thing. We don't want it in the bin, do we? And it's getting used. So There we go. Lovely. Just scooch that over there. Oh dear, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, so that's a journal card and a tag on there. Okay, just looking at the time, I'm just going to pull some of these out that I've already done and just see if they're ready to have stuff done to them, because I'm conscious that time's getting on, and at least it'd be nice for you to see something almost finished, wouldn't it? So I'm gonna get my corner rounder out. For those of you that are relatively new to journaling, if you haven't used these, the corner rounders, sometimes as crafters, especially when we're just getting into things, we buy everything on the marketplace going, and then we end up spending loads and loads of money and end up regretting it, which every crafter has done. I wouldn't mind betting. And I have to be honest and say this is one purchase that I made that I would personally recommend to anybody. It's a little corner rounder. They're relatively cheap in comparison to a lot of things that you buy, but they are absolutely worth their weight in gold. This one has got the 3 size corners on it, and I use it in virtually every project that I do, without question, really. Okay, so that one there has had its corners done, and that's looking lovely. I just want to put a little bit of an embellishment up there, and I'm going to do the same for this one. Nice rounded corners. Sometimes it's better to do it that way around, because you can see if the corner's actually in place, because you want the corner of the paper to be in place in the corner of the punch there. And if you do it upside down like that, you can actually see where it is and where it's positioned. Sometimes if you get it like that and you cut it, it's difficult to rectify it once you've done that. So yeah, just having a look, see what you're doing sometimes is useful. So that's that one. Okay. So those two are ready to be embellished. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of embellishment on these, and then I think we will call it a day. I'm not too sure what I've actually got at the moment that's already prepped, so I'm just going to have a look. Now, I'm looking at that little bow there. The reason for that is I've just got a little nick there on the journal card, and I just thought a little corner bow on that would just hide that little nick. See, there's ways and means of doing things on everything that you do that hides multitudes of sins. And it does just help. And if you want to try and marry things up a little bit, if you choose to do so, I've got some little blue bows here, look, and that one could go in the corner there. And then if you sell your journals on, or if you give them as gifts, it actually then makes it look like it's been intentional, so you've done the sames, which is quite nice. I am going to stick these little bows down because I definitely want them in place. So we'll pop that one. I'm just using a little bit of Fabri-Tac, with these being fabric as opposed to paper. It does help it stick a little bit better. And pop that one on there, like that. There we go. That little nick in that paper now, you wouldn't even know it's there. So there's ways and means of doing everything, peeps. Even when you really feel that you've messed something up, you can. So I'm just trying to see which way around this goes. Goes that way. Okay. Yeah, you can sort things out. It's never get stressed about making mistakes, because there's ways and means of rectifying things. Even if it doesn't quite end up how you were hoping it would, it will still be beautiful. I'll pop that one on there, just leave those to dry a second. That really needs cleaning, doesn't it? That's a bit all gloopy. Look. Right then, so that's that done. Yeah, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. I think I'm going to call it a day, because the embellishing side of things absolutely takes me forever. For those of you that have seen my videos, you know this is a painful process. So I am going to work out what I want to do. I'm going to do it, and then I'll come back and show you, okay? So thanks very much for joining me today for a little craft along, guys. Next video will be Mishmash Monday. So Mishmash Monday, you might get to see a little bit more of my office space and what I've been up to, and a little bit more of the journal if I've done any more with it. Okay, so have a lovely weekend, enjoy what you're doing, and I will see you all again Monday with a bit of luck. Take care, guys. Bye.